those details, we'll cut across to some more breaking developments which are coming in. This is about the former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. His 2-day CBI custody ends today. This was an extension that was granted to the CBI. He's all set to be produced in court shortly. He's been taken to the court, the Rouse Avenue Court. The live visuals on your screen right now. He resigned after being arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Bail application, as anticipated, has been moved at the lower court. Earlier, he had moved the Supreme Court as well, seeking quashing of his arrest. But the Supreme Court made it abundantly clear that any kind of intervention at this stage is not something that the court is going to do. The remedies of Mr. Sisodia at this point in time lies at the lower court, and if he wants, he can move the Delhi High Court as well. Anshul with us on the broadcast. Anshul, Mr. Sisodia being taken to the Rouse Avenue Court.
Well, yes, so Mr. Manish Sisodia has just been taken from the CBI headquarters to the Rouse Avenue Court. What we have been told at this point in time from sources within the CBI, that CBI is not going to demand any more custody of Manish Sisodia, and hence, in all likelihood, Manish Sisodia will be sent to judicial custody, because remember, his bail application, which is pending before the Rouse Avenue Court, will be taken up on the 10th of March. So yes, today, but yes, the arguments that are going to take place in the court, that is going to be something of great interest, because yes, the CBI will have to tell what headway they have made over the last 7 days since they have taken into custody Manish Sisodia, and if at all any of the missing links that the CBI were seeking, if any of those missing links have been found. So yes, the CBI today will have to justify what has happened in the last 7 days since they have taken him into custody. But yes, on the other hand, we heard the arguments that were made from the side of Manish Sisodia, where it was very clearly stated in front of the CBI judge as well that Manish Sisodia was being mentally harassed by the CBI investigating officers, and the same questions were being asked to him repetitively. So yes, there is most likely to answer on that as well. So yes, in the next few minutes, as the hearing begins, it remains to be seen what are the arguments that are placed yet again in front of the court.
Anshul is anticipating via his sources that CBI is unlikely to seek any further custody. If that be the case, then the procedure says that he can be sent to judicial custody. Of course, he'll move a bail application and he'll demand bail. What is anticipated is that will the Enforcement Directorate now step in and seek custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia? That has been the procedure that they have adopted in many high-profile investigations which have been carried out by the central agencies. The visuals on your screen on the right-hand side are the visuals of earlier protests that the BJP has staged against the Aam Aadmi Party, arguing that this entire taint goes directly to the Chief Minister. He is responsible for the alleged impropriety that happened in the Liquorgate scandal in the national capital, and he should resign. Two top netas of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Delhi government, Mr. Satyendra Jain and Mr. Manish Sisodia, presently in different kinds of custody. Mr. Satyendra Jain is in judicial custody, and Enforcement Directorate is looking at serious charges of money laundering against him. Whenever ED looks at these cases, and those are the charges which are pressed, to secure a bail becomes very difficult. Also keeping in mind that for the longest time, Mr. Satyendra Jain did not resign from his position, and that became all the more difficult for him, legally speaking, to secure any kind of bail. Anshul, wait and watch. Will the Enforcement Directorate now step up?
Well, yes, because remember, in this alleged liquor scam, the Enforcement Directorate is also probing this entire matter, and in fact, the ED is looking at the money trail. If at all any sort of bribe that is being alleged in this entire matter was given, where was that money? Where did that money come, and where did that money go? So this is something that the ED is interrogating at this point in time. Yes, it is being anticipated that ED might step in, but yes, that remains to be seen. When will the Enforcement Directorate decide to actually step into this entire matter and take custody of Mr. Manish Sisodia? Because yes, he was the in fact, the excise minister at that point when this entire policy was being implemented, or when this entire policy was being formed. If you look at the charge sheet that has been filed by the CBI, it has very clearly been stated that there were problems in the manner in which this entire policy was formed, because drafts of this policy was actually sent to liquor barons of the south, and their suggestions were asked from them. So yes, this is something that Manish Sisodia will have to answer in front of the CBI. But yes, on the other hand, the ED is also probing the money trail in this entire matter, because it is being alleged that bribes were paid to Manish Sisodia, and not directly to him, but yes, the bribes were given to the party fund, which was eventually used in the elections of Punjab and Goa as well. So all these allegations is something that the ED is also probing at this point in time. So yes, it is being anticipated that ED might step in, but when will that step in? That remains to be seen.
Well, let's give a lowdown to our viewers about what this case has been. Mr. Manish Sisodia was arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation. All hell broke loose. There were multiple political allegations that were made on both the sides. What does the CBI have on record? Via sources, it has been indicated there are multiple serious allegations against Mr. Manish Sisodia. And prima facie, the agency has a strong evidence to arrest Mr. Sisodia, keep him in custody, and also demand further answers from him. The agency has repeated in the court, and this is something they also said while arresting Mr. Sisodia, that he has remained very evasive in his replies and he has not cooperated with the agency so far. In response, the counsel for Mr. Manish Sisodia has argued before the court that there is no onus on any accused who is innocent till proven guilty, that he should self-incriminate himself. Mr. Sisodia allegedly has remained silent on multiple important questions that were raised by the agency to Mr. Sisodia. What is the key evidence that exists against Mr. Sisodia? Well, the agency says that the fact that he changed his mobile phone multiple times, some of the crucial files which are missing, more importantly, some witnesses or, earlier industrialists who have been booked by the CBI have turned into approvers. And it is believed that their testimony is also going to be very, very critical in booking Mr. Sisodia. I want to cut across to my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar, who's with us on the broadcast. Ananya, the visuals on our screen right now, Mr. Sisodia is en route to the Rouse Avenue Court. Give us a brief understanding to our viewers about how the arguments panned out when he was presented to the court 2 days ago.
Well, definitely, Manish Sisodia, as per our information, has just reached the court complex of the Rouse Avenue Court. However, he is yet to be brought before the particular competent court in, here at 512, which is the number Mr. Sisodia would be produced at this point of time. So what happened on the last date of hearing was that the Central Bureau of Investigation sought for 3 more days of police custody remand of accused Manish Sisodia, clearly saying that he needs to be confronted with certain witnesses who cannot be named at this particular stage. It was also contended that a particular very important file with regard to the cabinet note and the minutes of meetings wherein cabinet was discussed where changes were suggested to this particular policy is certainly missing, and that needs to be found out, and that's why the court, after considering all of these submissions, has given out a 2-day police custody remand to the Central Bureau of Investigation. But now he will be produced at the end of this police custody remand before the court of law today, and we'll have to see as to whether or not the Central Bureau of Investigation seeks for more custody into this particular case or not. And secondly, what is very, very also peculiar to note is that whether the Central Bureau of Investigation would be seeking further police custody remand or would be seeking a judicial custody for Manish Sisodia is the question that would be answered in few minutes from now.
Ananya,